Hi, it's Jackleen. Happy summer solstice. I'm recording this on June 20th, and this is the day of the summer solstice. We're not quite there yet because the summer solstice begins, the summer begins when the sun moves into Cancer. So I want to talk a little bit about the solstices and equinoxes and a little bit of history and astrology, and then I'll talk about how to really rock this and how to use this time to set yourself ahead and to achieve your goals. So first, we'll start with the solstices and equinoxes. These are astrologically based. Basically, when the sun moves into Aries, we have our spring or vernal equinox, whatever you want to call it, right? That's the first cardinal sign, the first sign of the zodiac. That's International Astrology Day, by the way, because that's when the astrological calendar begins. And then this is the second one, the summer solstice, 3 months later, is when the sun moves into Cancer. That will happen tonight, Friday night, at 7:42 p.m. Pacific. That's when the season of summer starts. And then we have the autumnal or fall equinox in Libra. That's when the sun moves into Libra. And then in winter, of course, we'll have the winter solstice, which happens when the sun moves into Capricorn. These are the four initiating or cardinal signs of the zodiac. So they're beginnings. These are the signs that like to begin things. If you have heavy cardinal influences, you're always starting new things. Sometimes maybe the follow through isn't there as much, but you're a good starter if you have these cardinal influences. So that's what we're doing right now. Today, we are starting a new season, and the way to rock that is to, first of all, look back and say, what have I accomplished over the last 3 to 6 months? And maybe even make a list to thank yourself and thank, the powers that be that helped you along in accomplishing what you accomplished over the last 6 months. So you pat yourself on the back, but you also kind of pat the universe, which is your higher self, on the back for lining up the luck, the synchronicity, all the things to make these things happen for you. And then you get clear on what you'd like to achieve over the next 3 months and then over the next 6 months. So you'll kind of take stock of that when we get to the fall equinox. You'll say, okay, so for my 3-month goals, what have I achieved? What needs to be carried over? What requires a little bit longer? So basically, this will be a great day for you to envision yourself in 6 months. Where do you want to be in 6 months? What wants to improve? I don't want to necessarily say reasonable, but make sure it's something that you believe that you can achieve in the next 6 months. So see yourself, envision. If you've been to one of my moon circles or had a vision session with me, you know exactly what I'm talking about, how to envision. It's a little bit different than visualizing. It's just kind of allowing the vision to come to you. You go into a meditation, you say, okay, show me where I am or where I could be in 6 months. Show me if all things went even better than I could have imagined. All things came together in wonderful, magical ways. Where would I be in the next 6 months? And then make that vision very real and really bring yourself into it. I'm doing a real shorthand version of this, but if you have had my vision session or been to one of my moon circles, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Locate yourself in that, bring all the sensory details into it, and maybe do this every day for the next 6 months. See what happens, see what changes. But definitely have your goals, set out the things that you say you want to achieve within this time, and use the solstices and equinoxes as sort of checkpoints to see if you're on track, what's flowing, what's not flowing, that kind of thing. So it's really a wonderful time, even though we're in a waning moon period right now, which means it's a kind of more of a time of completions. The solstice says, go ahead and start new things. Do little token starts that say, this is something that's important to me. This is one of my goals. If there's something to clear out first, be first about that clearing until we get to the new moon. And I'm going to talk more about the new moon in a bit here, but clear out what needs to be cleared out and just make those little token starts toward those big goals that are on your list for the next 6 months. And then again, maybe there's subset goals that are important to accomplish over the next 3 months. So this is a wonderful time. You want to celebrate the solstice. You want to do just something. It can be a very small thing. Burn a candle, give thanks to whatever your spiritual entity is. Maybe it's just your higher self, or do something. Cookies are sometimes made. There's traditions about jumping over fires. I wouldn't necessarily suggest that, but sometimes people jump over fires. Sometimes you go to Stonehenge. That's on my bucket list. I've been to Stonehenge, but not during the solstice, so that's on the bucket list. Or you do something that where you can see the sun come up or notice the sun shortly around the solstice period and sort of give thanks to it. Do maybe a few sun salutations, whatever it is that kind of marks this occasion. One thing is people say that this is the longest day of the year, and it's not necessarily so. Our calendar is a little bit off, and so the longest day may be in a couple of days, or may have been a couple of days ago. I really don't know this year, but it's a day that we kind of honor the longest day, and we bring things into balance also around the solstices and the equinoxes. So think of this as sort of a checkpoint for you to look at your goals, say, okay, am I on track? Are there things that I need to change about my goals? If you've done this at either the last of the spring equinox or the winter solstice or both, you have things written down. What's important to you now? What needs to be kind of renewed? What needs to be looked at a little bit differently? And think about Cancer, the sign that the sun just moved into. It's really about home, family, and those sort of ride or die friends, those very important, most important friends. It's not really a group or a social sign as much as it is a one-on-one connection. It's about nurturing. Cancer is the sign of the mother. So it's just kind of like your bosom buddies, those people that you care about the most, and small groups. It's the sign of staying home sometimes. And so you can give yourself some rest. You can give yourself some nurturing to kind of reset. Think of this time as a resetting. We've got a new moon in a few days that I will be talking about. And then once we've had the solstice and the new moon, it's really a good time for a bigger push forward. But for right now, I would say make these little token starts on the goals, or do little things to still clear out before you leap ahead greatly during the new moon. And I'll be talking to you about that shortly, but just a little word or two about the solstice. This was requested by Julie. So hi, Julie. Anyway, I thought I would do it, and maybe I'll do it again at the equinox. So happy summer solstice. Bye-bye.